So I'm going to show you how I prepare my steak tips for direct grilling. Steak tips are sirloin, and these happen to be Angus. I got them on sale at Market Basket today. A lot of fat. It's kind of tough, but they don't have to be tough. There's a couple things that we do because they have incredible flavor. Like, they're so flavorful, and there's a couple ways that it's kind of like skirt steak, very similar flank or skirt. It's super tasty, but if you don't use it properly, then it can be tough. So one of the things I do is these happen. A lot of these pieces were actually already pretty thin from the package that I got. But if you notice, you can see the grain. That's the end cut of the grain, and that's how they the butchers actually cut these steak tips. Massachusetts, the Northeast, people know what a steak tip is. Other parts of the country used to say steak tips, and they look at you crazy. But here's one that's actually very thick, and some places will cube this. I don't actually cube them. What I do is I'm gonna actually kind of butterfly this and make it just a flatter piece that'll be just a lot less thick. If I had two hands, it would be a lot easier. But this knife is doing pretty good. Hold on. So now we have it's fairly thin, and then I'll just take one more step. But let me see if this one. Yeah, I'll process this one as well. It's not too thick, but just thick enough that I'm going to want to process it. I'll show you. That's how. So you can see how the grain goes this way, and I want to cut it against the grain, which is going to make it a lot more tender. I'll be right back. I'm just going to cut that, and seeing as I'm doing this with one hand, you don't want to see all that. So I'll just cut it, and I'll show you what it looks like after. So that one piece I cut right down the middle against the grain, like I said, and made two much thinner pieces. Sometimes I like cut this right here. You could actually skewer this if you wanted to, but there's one more step to make it super tender and ready for marinade. Get one of these. They come in different forms, but I like this one the best. It's really easy to use. You press down, and it makes holes in the meat. Breaks down some of those tissues, some of that sinew, and just makes it really easy to chew. And with this cut of meat, it's so delicious. If you prepare it this way, you really enjoy eating it that much more. The texture. So you just go along. You can see how it's going to actually really help it also to accept marinade. So easy to do, easy to clean too. I'll put a link to this in the show notes as well. This one, fairly simple here. I'm doing this one-handed because I'm holding the camera, obviously. It's even easier if you're using two hands. So I made a little chimichurri and put it in a plastic bag and cover the steak tips and let them marinate. And there we go, basically just layered chimichurri, steak tip, chimichurri, steak tip, chimichurri. Add it all up. I'll seal that up and let it marinate all day till it's time to cook tonight.